Oh. I'm not upset.
Right? That's pretty good. Hola a todos, yo soy Samuel. Para los que no me conocen, estoy aprendiendo español y hoy estoy muy emocionado porque vamos a tratar de cocinar arepas venezolanas. Arepas venezolanas. But before we start cooking, how about a brief overview of the arepa? These crispy corn flour cakes have been popular across modern-day Venezuela and Colombia for hundreds of years. The name actually comes from the indigenous word arepa, which literally translates to corn. Now currently there is a full-blown cultural war between Colombia and Venezuela regarding how the arepa should be served. So for the purpose of this video, we'll just be focusing on the Venezuelan variation, and we'll talk about Colombian arepas at a later date. So according to one study, 70% of Venezuelans eat arepas very frequently. And they do that because once you slice them, you can put pretty much anything you want into an arepa. People eat them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They're also pretty famous for a late night snack after you've had one too many to drink at the discoteca. Alright, so although I've never cooked these before, I have eaten them. Last time I went to Panama, I stayed with a Venezuelan couple for about a week. We had them every day and they were awesome. I was promised that there's not much to it as far as cooking them, so surely between myself and the help of a gringa, we shouldn't run into too many issues. Alright, so we're going to jump right into the recipe. The first thing you're going to need to make arepas, you're going to need P.A.N. No, it's a brand name.
Oh, my bad.
Okay, try again. We need P.A.N. That's much better. All right, so P.A.N. P.A.N. is the largest supplier of harina de maíz for this staple dish, and it might be worth mentioning. In Venezuela, they use the white corn flour. Over in Colombia, they use the yellow variant. In addition to corn flour, to P.A.N., we also need water, which we have 1 cup of, and I think we just need salt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just some salt. Let's jump right into it. And if you get lost at any point during this video, I'll go ahead, I'll leave the recipe in the description below, and if this sort of stuff floats your boat, be sure to subscribe. We're gonna put the water in the bowl first. If you put the mix in first and put the water on top, it gets really like clumpy. You want like a smooth dough because we're going to form these into kind of the shape of hockey pucks, and then we're simply going to cook them on a cast iron skillet. So we've got the water in first. We're going to put in just, I don't know, I just eyeball it, a couple pinches of salt. Is that enough? Probably. All right. Okay, and then we have 1 cup of harina, and we're going to add this in slowly. So I'm going to start putting it in and stir it around a little bit because, again, we're trying to avoid any clumps. And once we get toward the end of this cup of flour here, we are going to have to use our hands to more or less knead the dough. Add to it. Does it look like I know what I'm doing? Spoiler alert, I don't. There's a consistency that is to be desired here. There's a goal in mind, but I don't know when it's right. So I'm just going to keep kneading this stuff until it feels better, I guess, until it feels more like dough and it can hold itself together. Because we're kind of learning together. How fun. I'm going to sub in my assistant here because she's better with this stuff.
Oh, whoa, weird.
So yeah, what does it feel like?
Play-Doh?
Play-Doh. It does feel a little bit like Play-Doh. Yeah, and then you start shaping it into like a hockey puck. Oh, that's exactly what it looked like too.
Really?
Yeah. So you see, we get these little cracks around the outside. So I'm just gonna wet my fingers a little bit and kind of reshape it until it's nice and smooth all the way around. Okay, so we have 4 arepas venezolanas, and kind of we're trying a couple different sizes here. They range from, I mean, it can be any size. I know they can be super small all the way up to like big. Is that enough? Is that enough adjectives? So once your arepas are as small or as big as you want them to be, throw some butter into a pan and cook them over medium heat for about 4 to 5 minutes on each side. Let's get them in here. Okay. I was expecting more of a sizzle, if I'm totally honest. While these are cooking, please do me a favor. Let me know in the comments if you're familiar with both. Which do you prefer, the Venezuelan or Colombian arepa? Gracias. All right, so these things have been on for about 4 minutes on each side. We're gonna go ahead and check it out. Oh, that looks so good.
Okay, ready?
I'm pretty sure you're Venezuelan. Is anybody else like, anytime I use the stovetop, when I'm away from the stove, I always freak out and think that I left it on. But look at it. Off.
Shouldn't we let it cool or something?
You know, whatever. I don't know.
You'll be fine.
Does it look like I know what I'm doing?
Yeah.
It's really hot. It's actually like searing my fingers right now.
Well, I told you to wait.
Yeah, but I want it to melt everything.
What?
Perfect. You see? We know what we're doing. I'm sorry this is terrible. I'm just using Colby Jack shredded cheese. Now, traditionally, queso blanco or any cheese on this list would be used, but we're working with what we got, so on to the taste test. We've got 100% authentic Gringo made Venezuelan inspired arepas with cheese.
Yes. Oh. I'm not upset.
Right? That's pretty good. And,
Okay.
and it's gluten free.
Yeah.
Corn. That's it. Yeah.
There's just like a little bit of crisp. This is good.
We should do this more. So simple. It's like one ingredient. Final thoughts? What do we?
We'll do it again.
Yeah, that's it. You don't have any more? Just we'll do it again.
I'm just excited to get to the next one. It's good.
We do have 2 more to get to, so we'll see you next week.